Now let's see how to go about building a family tree from scratch. If we open up the Details panel for someone, you'll remember that this is where all the information comes from. There's a section for the individual, for that person's parents, for that person's partner or partners, and for their children. Clicking on any name in the panel makes that person the individual and changes all the other relationships appropriately. Now we want to start a brand new tree, so close the Details panel, go to the GEDCOM Files button, and choose Start New GEDCOM File. Confirm that you're willing to delete the current tree, which is fine as long as you've previously exported it. Now, do we want to keep the place names from this tree? No, we don't. We're talking about an entirely different location. Likewise, do we want to keep the surnames from this tree? No, we don't. We're talking about a different family. And here's the blank tree. Now, our fictitious family begins with William Clarkson, so we'll start by filling in his information. Just use your Tab key or your Enter key to move from field to field. Always try to use a constant date format. The typical one is a day, 3-character month, 4-digit year. Notice when we start to type London the second time, the full name comes in automatically because of auto-completion. This saves a lot of time and prevents a lot of spelling mistakes. The Notes area can be used for any information you want to keep about this person, things you've learned about his history, or anything else of interest. The black arrow just makes the Notes area larger. Once William's information is complete, you need to either save those changes or cancel them before you can move on to anything else. We're going to save. Now we know that William married someone named Sarah Frank, so we're going to set her up now as a new individual. Everyone in the tree must first be set up and saved as an individual. When we've saved Sarah, we need to link her and William together. So we go to the Partner area, add a link to a partner, choose William, confirm, enter any information about the marriage, the date or the location, and now William and Sarah are linked together. When Sarah is the individual, William is the partner. When William is the individual, Sarah is the partner. Sarah and William had a daughter they named Sarah Louise, so we're going to add her as a new individual. Save her information, and now we want to link her to her parents. So we go to the Parent area, add a link, and then begin by choosing either parent. It doesn't really matter if we choose Sarah or we choose William, and then confirm the couple that is her parents. Now by clicking on either William or Sarah, Susan Louise is shown as a child. By clicking on Susan, William and Sarah are shown as her parents. William and Sarah also had a son that they named Thomas, so let's add him as an individual, save him, and link him to his parents. And again, for the parents, you can choose either parent to begin and then confirm the couple. Let's close the details panel. Now we're only seeing Thomas here because we were just working with him. But if we go over to the button that says change top level to earliest person, now we're seeing the whole tree. Only 4 people, but that's the tree so far. We can draw a tree chart. Charts can be drawn vertically so that generations are in columns, or they can be drawn horizontally so that generations are in rows. Back to the tree viewer. Susan Louise got married. So we'll go back into the detail panel, add another individual for her husband named Jeffrey Black. Save him, link him to his partner, Susan Louise. Meanwhile, Thomas Clarkson also got married, so we're going to add another individual for his partner, Christine Lawson. I'm not going to bother adding any more dates or places. And here's the result. Now, how does a GEDCOM file link all these people together? Back in the details panel, if you press Control Space, you'll see little identification keys displayed. These are numbers that are automatically generated for each person and for each family, and the GEDCOM file uses these codes to link everyone together. Now, most people don't really care about them, so you can hide them again by pressing Control Space, or you can leave them open if you wish to. Now, as with any computer program, you should frequently do a data backup. In Tree Viewer, that's an export. So we're going to do an export of the full tree, which means everybody in the tree. We'll make up a name for it. I'm going to call it Clarkson's, cleverly enough, and save it. And that's all there is to it. Now, time has passed, and Susan and Jeffrey had a daughter. So we're going back to the details panel. We'll add another individual for their daughter, Lily. And we'll save Lily and link her to her parents. Again, choosing either Jeffrey or Susan. And after a bunch more time, Lily had a son, Robert, but we haven't been able to discover who the father was. So we're going to add Robert as an individual, and when adding his parents, we'll choose Lily, and we'll see that one of the options says Other Parent Unknown. So choosing this automatically sets up someone with the name Unknown Person as one of the parents. And if you click on that person, you'll see a note has also been added to remind us that this was the unknown partner of Lily Black. If at some time in the future we figure out who this was, then you don't set up a new individual, but simply open this one and change the name fields. Lily got married again, so we're going to add another individual, this time for James Britton. and we'll link him to Lily. They had a child, Elizabeth Britton. And when setting up the parents this time, notice that if I choose Lily as one of the parents, then two lines come up, one with the unknown person, one with James. So we choose James. Now if we choose Lily as the individual, both of her parents show up, both of her partners show up, and both of her children. Close the details panel and you'll see how the text tree shows multiple marriages. While all that excitement was going on with Lily, Thomas and Christine had 3 children, James, Melinda, and Barry. So we're setting up each of those people as individuals and linking them to their parents. At turbo speed. And here's the tree we have so far. Oh, Melinda got married to Paul Gilbert, so we'll set him up as an individual. And as a partner. And they had a son, Robert. So we set him up as an individual and set up his parents. Okay, close the details panel, and this is what we have so far. And here's the current tree chart. Notice there's a dashed line coming off of Lily. The solid line is for any children from a first marriage, dashed line for the second marriage. After that, I forget what happens. I think I made the dashes longer, or maybe I made them shorter, I don't remember. Somebody should look in the user guide. Time to do another export. I'm going to change the name slightly and call it Clarkson's 2. I don't want to overwrite a previous backup in case something happens or I just do something stupid. This gives me fallback points that I can return to by importing them. One last thing about the details panel is the ability to add attachments to an individual, pictures, documents, and so on. That's what the paperclip is for. Click the paperclip and navigate to whatever document you have that's relevant to this individual. Now I'm just going to pretend that this is a picture of Thomas back in 1852, and it will copy the file picture into the attachments folder. Notice the paper icon now shows a 1, meaning there's one attachment. Clicking the paper icon takes you to the attachments. Now it's important to understand that GEDCOM files do not support attachments. This feature has nothing to do with the GEDCOM file. It works only within the Tree Viewer program and allows us to relate documents to individuals, which can be kind of handy. Close the details again, and you'll notice a couple of special symbols that have been added. The small a means this person has attachments. The degree symbol means this person has notes. Now I know they're very small, but even if you can't distinguish what the symbol is, seeing anything there means that person has either notes or attachments, which might be interesting to look at. Okay, let's do a final backup. Export GEDCOM file, full. Again, I'm going to change the name slightly to Clarkson's 3 and save it. To get all of the details about using GED Tree Viewer, go to the Help button and click the button there for User Guide. This opens a PDF file full of fascinating information which will explain how to use the program. And speaking of the program, it's completely free. There's no registration, no username, no passwords, no ads, and very little chance of any support. Everything is contained in a single folder, making it easy to move or copy everything to some other machine. No other files on your computer are touched except for your PDF program, which is used for reports. It is Windows only. In conclusion, it's really not difficult to set up a family tree. The biggest problem is just discovering the family information. It's unfortunate but true that when you're young, you just don't care about this stuff. And when you're old, many of your relatives have passed on, and the family history is passed on with them. So if you're going to build a family tree, the moral of the story is start now.